If you have a weak stomach, you might want to stay clear of the latest sci-fi horror film that Rolling Stone magazine calls The White Lotus on bad acid. What does it look like on good acid? I'm going to ask Rad. Good morning to you. The White Lotus on bad acid. How's that for a review?
That's a really good description of this movie, if a little generous.
Let's talk about what the movie's called.
I mean, the movie's called Infinity Pool.
Yes.
And I mean, the reason, look, it is a movie about vacationers behaving badly in another country, except that by them behaving, but they behave badly in a way because they know that they are detached entirely from accountability, because basically they can commit crimes and then they can clone themselves and let their clones take the capital punishment for their crimes.
What?
So once they feel completely detached from any accountability, they go wild. So again, it is about, like White Lotus, it is about vacationers feeling entitled to do whatever they want to do and mistreating the local populations. It is not as thoughtful and funny as White Lotus. But however, it is way, way, way more revolting, because when it comes to revolting, this movie has a name to live up to. Okay, like this is the film by Brandon Cronenberg.
Okay, so yes, so this is the son of David Cronenberg.
The son of David Cronenberg. Okay. So you know he's going to go.
Similar style?
I think, you know, surface level, you might think it's similar style because it's twisted and it's ambiguous and all that stuff. But I think Brandon Cronenberg has a very distinct visual style, but certainly he's trying to ante up on his dad in terms of the gross out factor. And this movie has the gross out factor. I do think, though, that this movie, it could have been more political. It doesn't do enough with its premise. There's a very intriguing premise about how vacationers behave in other people's country and the entitlement stuff. I think it makes its point right at the beginning and then just goes for the gross out factor and doesn't go all the way.
All right, so who's this for?
This is for people who like movies like In the Earth and Midsommar, which is like, you know, really gruesome movies that I don't know.
That I've never seen.
that you rightfully avoided.
Rightfully avoided. Okay, so let's switch gears here. Let's talk comedy. Yes? Yeah. You People?
Yes.
Yes. This is co-written by Jonah Hill and Kenya Barris.
Yes.
So tell me about. I love Jonah Hill.
Yeah, I have very mixed feelings about Jonah Hill.
You do.
I do, and I mean, and those mixed feelings really come out here.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, well, because like this is a movie where Jonah Hill and Kenya Barris decide they're going to tackle the racial tensions of the last couple of years through an interracial couple comedy. It's like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, Meet the Parents kind of scenario where you know they go after some provocative conversations where it's like, you know, you have a Jewish family and a black family, and at one point at dinner the Jewish family and black family start comparing oppression and who got it worse, the Holocaust or slavery. And so it gestures at these provocative conversations, but it doesn't really go there in terms of really having the conversations, because it does want to be a very likable movie.
Is it funny?
It's for a bit, it's funny.
Yeah.
For the start, it's funny. I think it kind of loses its edge along the way. And it's also, when I say I have mixed feelings about Jonah Hill and stuff, it's because like Jonah Hill is someone who for a long time I think he's been showing his appreciation of black culture, but not really grappling with his white privilege and his relationship to that. And I actually had a really awkward conversation with him a couple of years ago about that.
Yeah.
And he was very combative, and that's what he's trying to process here. And I think he's genuinely trying to process it here. The problem with this movie is I think this movie is very generous towards the white characters and showing them making an effort in these times, whereas characters like Nia Long, Eddie Murphy, legends, the roles that were written for them, lots of people in this, but the roles that were written for those black characters, I don't think were as generous, and I don't think they really, I don't think their perspectives were really explored in a situation like this.
Who's this one for?
This is for people who like, you know, I Feel Pretty, you know, the Amy Schumer comedy that thought it was selling some smart, but it was really kind of
Yeah.
And then also, like, if you like Crash, well, I got a rom-com for you.
Wow. Wow.
If you thought Crash was a good, like...
Let's talk rom-com. The one and only J-Lo, this is her lane. She does well in the lane. Did she do well in this one?
Well, I mean, it's interesting, because you're saying rom-com's her lane, right? This is called Shotgun Wedding. Well, this is 2 lanes for J-Lo, because this is basically Die Hard at a wedding, essentially, right? It's like, oh, I'm getting married, but the hostage takers came. So it's actually like J-Lo bring her rom-com appeal to the action star appeal that we remember. That's how she became a star. Anaconda, anyone? So it's like her bringing those two things together. Unfortunately, it's really dumb.
Oh, but is it dumb enough to just sort of like sit back and eat your popcorn?
You know, like, look, this is a rom-com with no sparks and an action movie with no real kick, right? And so I think it's dumb enough to put it on the screen behind you and let it make some noise if you want
while you're making dinner.
Exactly, yeah.
But Jennifer Coolidge is in this.
Jennifer Coolidge.
She's having a moment.
In another White Lotus situation, and this time she's armed, so she gets to survive.
Amazing. All right, Rad, always good to see you. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Ravi. Talk to you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.